Hello! This channel has officially reached the 1-year mark, and to say thank you to my 5 subscribers, I have bought cupcakes. One for each of you, and one for myself. To show my gratitude, I shall also eat them so they don't go bad. This week's movie is the 1953 science fiction movie Planet Outlaws, and I cannot get that wasted time back. It was rough. And, barely reaching over an hour, it will make you feel like you can never leave. It's got the usual duct tape and jumpsuits, so point. However, the jumpsuits from Teenagers in Space are better.
Wow, really old teenagers from outer space.
Though ironically, also in 1953, there was a far better adaptation that I would much rather recommend that involves Marvin the Martian.
Dodgers in the 24th and a half century!
At the beginning, it has some typical Pulp Fiction animation cartoon with some music and newspaper headlines. We get the radio thing and some newsreel clips. Is this supposed to make us scared? Just because you quote Jules Verne doesn't make you mystical and cool. Lose a point. There's this weird thing about space travel to worlds in outer space, and we will be able to do so commonly by the year 2000. Losing a point for predictions because we now have to remind people that the Earth isn't flat. It's shaped like a dinosaur. And if Inside Job is to be believed, how is the hollow Earth possible if it's flat? Checkmate? Maybe?
From somewhere in the skies above us have come from time to time flaming discs and weird aerial phenomena. What are they? Whence have they come? Dr. Morris Aviat, one of the leading aerodynamicists in the world, stated that in his opinion, they have originated elsewhere than the Earth, and that they are artificially controlled.
I mean, it does start out with the whole storm thing, then the jumpsuits finding it. However, Buck Rogers and Walmart Boy Wonder are captured by aliens that look surprisingly like humans and are taken to a movie theater cosplaying as alien headquarters, and they're all in the cantina. And, as with normal Smurf rules, there is one woman. Because even Doctor Who came out around this time, and at least they toyed with the idea that aliens don't look like humans. Come on! We find out that they traveled from the year 1938, and it was part of an expedition, and he had to go out of his way to tell us that he's a lieutenant, -1 because nobody asked. They were in suspended animation for 500 years, which means it's now the year 2438. And according to the song by Zager and Evans, man and woman may not survive to the year 2525. So we're less than 100 years from humanity's destruction. Again. We're only 7 minutes in? Ugh! Minus a point.
Pain.
We find out that the criminals rule the world, and even though Buck Rogers seems to have easily accepted the 500 years magically passed, apparently ships traveling from planet to planet is just amazeballs. He acclimates pretty quickly to the jumpsuit and is now amazed by radio communication from the ground to the ships. Well, he is a lieutenant, so that checks out. He also volunteers to be the decoy, so he's got a death wish too.
Wow! That's a low price!
I'm, kind of getting Emperor Palpatine vibes from this dude. And then they send Smurfette with them because, of course they do. I mean, the stuff with the animation and the Matchbox media is decent for the 50s, so you know what? Point. They're flying around and he just picks up controls because apparently nothing changed in flying technology in 500 years. I guess? Losing a point. And there's lots of flying around. They really make use of that $12.98 for a budget. At least Attack of the Killer Tomatoes made more sense.
This is the incredible story of the world's ultimate disaster. Vicious man-eating tomatoes grow to monstrous proportions. Faced with this unprecedented menace, the president calls upon Mason Dixon, special agent. Join Mason Dixon in a race against time as he battles to save the world from the threat of nature's perfect eating machine.
Okay, more standing around. In here. 12 minutes in? You know what? -5 because I can. Oh, and hold up. They're falling and have no protective gear, and there's no pressure outside the plane preventing them from opening it and jumping out. Losing a point! But hey, they made it to the ground, and Buck Rogers can really let his hair down. Wink wink! So I guess now we're going back to the bargain bin planet Hoth for a while. Oh hey, slightly different jumpsuits. But still human-looking aliens. Point cancels out.
With these, we could kill the most evil people in the world. Slightly different Christians.
Oh hey, headband with mirrors. Apparently there's also zombies, and this feels slightly kinda not cool, but the ones in dark jumpsuits are sort of evil. We see the lamest push, just... the whole chase scene just looks like everyone was given the wrong location for hide and seek. No one's in a hurry. Oh look, more flying and standing around. I'm pretty sure at this rate there's only 20 minutes of actual plot and the rest is just showing off the abilities to film spaceships. We're 20 minutes in? Where's the danger? Where's the impending doom? Where's the big kaboom? -1 point. Actually, you know what? Make it 2.
Where's the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
Okay, I guess there's a small kaboom. All that flour and cardboard adds about $1.27 to the budget. And once again, complete disregard for the laws of physics and air pressure. -4. I'm on a roll.
And 2 hard-boiled eggs.
And 2 hard-boiled eggs. It's either foggy out or make that 12 more hard-boiled eggs.
I will give a point because I don't think this moment is meant to be funny, but it's hilarious to me that after they land on the ground and are still in jumpsuits, he just says, "Act natural." Sure, sir. However, Buck Rogers and Non-Wonder Boy interrupt the pre-Flash Gordon Emperor main meeting. Again, the costumes, not sure how I feel about them. I do notice that the bad guys tend to have better costumes, so just saying. And apparently they're gonna leave the building and there's no actual fighting? And we have a random dude dressed like a bullfighter who doesn't fight. Losing a point. Standing and flying. Standing and flying. This is the least adventure-packed movie I've ever seen. I know the origins of science fiction were not grand, but come on, even the Batman serial had more going on. You know, every time I see Mr. Matador, I just want to sing the Flash Gordon theme song. 30 minutes in? 30? Okay, let's barrel through this sleepy mess. And what's that? More standing and flying? Of course it is. And then about 35 minutes in, you think, wait, we're near the end? They discuss treaties? And I'm guessing they won't honor them if the US history is any indication. But no, there's more of this movie. You know what? Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's just a study in using diplomacy and talking loudly instead of fighting. Nope, just kidding. Though his outfit has been upgraded from a matador to Night at the Opera with a cape. What? No, actually that's a different dude. I'm so bored watching this, I confuse all the characters. Okay, but one of the weapons is the teapot that makes you brain dead, so actually that's kind of cool. Point. And then we see the same recycled scene of Mr. Matador turning off the screen. And at 40 minutes in, we have the oversized mocha pot on its side controlling something. I'll be honest with you, I'm not super sure what the plot is, but the Teapots of Doom come back. Also, this is kind of giving me visions of the movie Metropolis. Are we still not done? This has more fake endings than The Return of the King. Oh, and is that more flying and standing around? And jumpsuits? And we're 50 minutes in. What else is there? There's only been like 2 punches thrown. Is this supposed to be like early Star Trek? I'd rather watch The Trouble with Tribbles. Well, I guess they're talking about attacking, so maybe something will show up? And we're still just talking and standing. Someone gets captured and there's a mole that calls out to the ships because they have the technology to communicate from the ground to the ships in the air, Mr. Lieutenant. So Mr. Matador is called by the patrol ship to tell him where the secret entrance is. It's Valley 100, though at least it's not a random button with a big sign that says push to self-destruct. Point, I suppose? But we're getting close to the end, and it's the double cross, see? See?
No, not that. No. Titans, you understand? Titans. Yeah.
Oh, they're adorable.
Now that there's about 15 minutes left, we get about 30 seconds of the only real fight scene in this movie. It ends quick and the pace still hasn't picked up, minus a point. But the leaders have officially decided that it will be war. War, I say. with our enemies. And oh, wouldn't you know, the machine that communicates from the ground to the ships in the air isn't working right now, and Buck Rogers suggests turning it off and on again. And it's more sitting and flying and blah dialogue. In a surprise to no one, the boy non-wonder was a stowaway on the ship as they go to Saturn. With Saturn being a gas planet, unless the buildings are all floating in the air, this wouldn't work. So losing a point for not doing basic planetary research. Then there's this weird part where he goes on about the worst crime known to man is kidnapping. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say there's worse. I mean, the plan is basically get out, shoot down the enemy, which is pretty typical, doesn't require any special skills. I'm an evil teapot, short and stout, but thanks to Buck Rogers in the 24th and a half century removing the Teapot of Doom, he now sets up for him to release all the other little teapots so they can take over. Okay, honestly, the evil teapots are about the only funny thing for me. But avast! The young lad has blown their cover and they must all save all the little teapots, and there's a minor scuffle. Okay, you know what? It took almost till the end of the movie, but there's finally more than 2 seconds of actual conflict. And with that, there's less than 2 minutes left in the film. It just ends. We get about 30 seconds of the announcer telling us that this dude wanted to take over, and maybe someday our scientists will be able to fight back for democracy. Minus a point because historically that doesn't seem to be a good idea.
Let us hope that the scientists of the free world will devise the weapons and the craft that will make democracy invincible against any enemy. God bless America.
Look, I know it's the 50s and Buck Rogers was supposed to be this manly-ish image or whatever, but trying to make it all dramatic at the end and have the last word spoken be, God bless America, doesn't really work. For that to have any impact, the movie needed to have some sort of drama or action or anything to make it slightly tolerable. This felt like a high school play put on by adult actors with too many scale replica models. But no end credits, so it ended? Overall, this isn't even 90 minutes, but it was rough and it's good I had cupcakes for it. Overall, negative 18 points, so if you're into this type of movie, give it a watch. Otherwise, could probably pass. Or make it a drinking game, but don't be stupid about it. Toodles! No, I can't be late, ribbon. More ribbon, can't have too much ribbon. Oh, paper towels.
I got some paper towels.
Ribbon! I forgot the balloons. What do you mean I missed the cupcakes? There's no cupcakes. But I wanted a cupcake. I was told there would be a cupcake. Where's my cupcake? I wanted my cupcake. Oh, cupcake.